study about the excretory system, which is composed of two kidneys, two ureters that lead to urinary bladder, and urethra, which leads the urine to outside. Then we have the major part is the kidneys, which are composed of the outer lighter region, which is known as medullary cortex, and the inner darker region, which is known as medulla. The major unit of which the kidney is composed of are known as nephrons. Now half of the part of nephron is present in medulla and half of it is present in the cortex. Major process of excretion is done in the nephron, and we are going to study now the detailed structure of nephron and how does it functions. Now the nephron is composed of glomerulus, which has small pores in its walls. When the blood comes into the glomerulus, which has urine in it, that blood contains a lot of other particles as well, like it has electrolytes, glucose ions, sodium ions, chloride ions, potassium ions, glucose particles, proteins, vitamins. A lot of those particles are also useful components are also present in the blood along with the urine. So when the filtrate, which is coming with high pressure into the glomerulus, comes inside, it is pushed outside the glomerulus into a cup-like structure which is known as Bowman's capsule. Now the glomerulus has small pores in its walls, and they do not let out the larger particles like proteins into this Bowman's capsule. So the filtrate, which after getting filtered after passing through the pores of the glomerulus, when goes inside the Bowman's capsule, it does not contain a very large amount of particles, but still it has a lot of useful components like glucose, chloride ions, electrolytes, vitamins, which are smaller in size that can escape out or pass out through the holes of the glomerulus. Then the urine passes out into a convoluted structure of the nephron, which is the proximal tubule, which is surrounded by a lot of capillaries. Now these capillaries are permeable to all these particles like glucose. They reabsorb the useful particles from the urine back into the blood. Firstly, we studied the first process that takes place in the glomerulus, which was filtration. Second process is now taking place in the proximal tubule and further will take in these tubules. That is known as a reabsorption process, where the useful components are going back into the blood from the urine. Now the urine passes out further into this loop of Henle, which has two parts. One is this descending loop of Henle and the other one is the ascending loop of Henle. The descending loop of Henle is more permeable to water and less to the electrolytes, and the ascending loop of Henle is more permeable to the electrolytes and less to that of water. When the blood comes into this descending loop of Henle, it is surrounded by a lot of capillaries, and those capillaries absorb that excess water from the descending loop of Henle and send it back to the blood. Furthermore, when the blood passes through the ascending loop of Henle, which is more permeable to electrolytes, those electrolytes like sodium is absorbed back into these capillaries and is taken back to the blood. So now we can conclude that till up to here, this part, a lot of excess water and the electrolytes are being absorbed back into the blood, and the urine has become a lot of concentrated because of the less amount of water, as we can say. So it is now passing out to this distal convoluted tubule, which is specialized to act under the effect of hormones. The two hormones that control it are aldosterone and antidiuretic hormone, which is short form is ADH. The aldosterone checks upon the excess amount of sodium present in the urine. If excess amount of sodium is present in the urine, that is being absorbed back by the aldosterone into the blood, and if excess water is present, as we can say, in the form in case of dehydration, where the amount of water in the body is less and it is needed more in the body, but in the urine the amount of water present is much greater, so ADH will act on that water and will reabsorb it back into the blood where is needed more. So it is against urine. As the name shows, it is anti-diuretic, means against urination. It will stop the urination process and take the water out of it, send it back to the body, and then it will regulate the process of urine, having lesser amount of water than before. Furthermore, the urine will pass out through the collecting duct, which is going to collect all the urine from these parts, and will move out into the ureters, into the urinary bladder, and then pass out of the body through urethra. Thank you.